Stage is yours.
Okay, so any interview, if it is a DSA round, so it is typically of 45 minutes, where you are supposed to introduce yourself. And when any interviewer is asking you that, tell me about yourself, you don't have to tell them, okay, these are my hobbies, I like dancing, swimming, etc. You have to tell them what are your technical interests, what are the projects that you have worked on in the past, which made a very big impact, maybe for the people you made that project for, or maybe for the companies you work for. So जब भी क्वेश्चन आएगा इंट्रोड्यूस योर सेल्फ, हमेशा अपने टेक्निकल एक्सपर्टीज को हाईलाइट करना है आपने। जो ये 2 मिनट मिलेंगे आपको, उससे आपको इंटरेस्ट पता चलेगा कि आप कितने टेक्निकली साउंड हो, प्रीवियसली आपने कितना टेक कंट्रीब्यूशन दिया है कंपनी में, उसका कितना इम्पैक्ट आया है। इट्स ऑलवेज हाउ बिग योर इम्पैक्ट इज। So always use that 2 minute very wisely. When I appeared for interviews for Google and Goldman Sachs few years back, so I appeared for Amazon, Microsoft also. I never used to prepare this question only. And उसके बाद I got this feedback from a senior, a mentor, that इसको एक पेज पे बना के लिख लो कहीं पे, what is your introduction? And सारा introduction होना चाहिए technical expertise के terms में, not like इधर उधर की कहानी. So that 2 minute half page का आप
Sorry
एक
to
write.
disturb.
Okay.
If you don't mind, can you speak in English? If you are using
Okay.
Hindi, if you folks won't be understand.
I guess everybody is comfortable with the English as a language here. So what I was trying to say that in a typical 45-minute interview round, the first question asked to you is, tell me about yourself, introduce yourself. So you have to use that 2 minute, that opportunity to talk about your technical expertise, your skill set, and the projects that you have worked on in the past and what impact they created, right? So just have a half page write up for this question. Okay. And then you are typically asked your first DSA question. Uh, Interviewer is there always to help you. They always operate from a mindset that they want to hire you. So they will obviously in between give you some hints, to walk you through that question. So when they tell you the first problem statement, so try to clarify the problem statement from them. Okay, maybe take one example. If it's an array question, take one example. Okay, this is the array, and re-explain that question first to your interviewer. Okay, and then always start by thinking with the most naive solution. It can be O(n) square, it can be anything. But don't ever start with like the most optimized solution. Then the interviewer would be like that, okay, he must have mugged up the solution from any website. Uh, there is the person lacks problem solving skills. So always start with the most naive solution, O(n) square types, and then your interviewer will ask you, okay, explain me this code, or explain me with one test case, at least one example at least. So when you walk through the interview through your code, with one example. After that, your interviewer will ask you, okay, now optimize it. I'm satisfied with the naive approach. Now optimize it. Then take next 10 minutes to optimize your solution and write a pseudo code. If it's on paper or if it's for Google, it would be on Chromebook. They give you a laptop most likely, always. So after this, the 20 minutes are left, 20-25 minutes. You should be smart enough to manage your interview like that. For the second question, 20-25 minutes are at least left, right? Because if you take for the first question only 30-40 minutes, then interviewer would be like, okay, now we are done for the interview. You could solve only one. Obviously, he will not rate your interview that positively, obviously. So always make sure to divide your interview time like that. First 5 to 10 minutes for your introduction, and then next 20 for the first question, and the last 20-25 minutes for your second question, right? Because second question is generally tougher as compared to the first one. Okay. So first one is usually your arrays, trees. Second one, they obviously jump to DP or graphs. It's most likely that. So that is a typical 45 minutes interview. And if you are able to give optimized solution for both the question, you are able to tell the time complexity and space complexity for both the question. you will 99% clear that round. So that is the secret sauce to clearing a DSA round at least.
Guys, please feel free to ask your queries if you have any. Or if not, please do give thumbs up or thumbs down so that we can move ahead. Okay, I think we should start then with DP. Mehak.
Yeah. So DP as a topic, some people fear this, but I would say there is no need to do that. Okay. Arun, walk us through the first problem statement.
So what I would do is I would share this first question with everyone. Uh, of course, everyone does practice on lead code. So what I would do is I would share this question link and I would request all of you guys to please read this question and then we would start. Okay. Is everyone good with this? If you see, I've shared the link in the chat and I would request everyone to please open this. I would give 2 minutes to everyone to please read this question. So what you can consider is you can consider me as an interviewer and you can consider Mehak as the candidate who is probably trying to explain everything to me, or Mehak would try to, make sure that she's answering each and everything. In between, you can also jump in, ask your questions and just see how Mehak tackles it. Okay.
So Reddy is asking how much maths is needed for learning DSA. So I think very basic maths is required for the DSA. Uh, you should know maybe like basic calculations and HCF, LCM, that also for mathematical questions. So that is like basic 10th level maths, nothing high-fi.
We can discuss about GSoC also, Devansh. Just allow us a little time. By the end of this session, we would discuss about GSoC also.
So have you given the problem statement? Yeah.
Yes, I have shared
The
the link in the
problem
chat.
statement is in chat. Yeah, it is in the chat box.
Whenever you guys are done reading the question, please do make sure to put in the chat section that you're done reading so that we can move ahead. Yeah, Santosh has read. What about others? Okay, Dhanush has also read. Taparia has also read. Vikas has also read. Okay. Is anyone who is still reading the question? Okay. I think most of the guys have read it, so I think we can
Yeah.
start. So, Mehak, this question is that you're given an array. What array signifies this? Let us consider this array: 7, 1, 5, 3, 6, 4. Okay. And what you have to do is you have to maximize the profit that you can make. Consider that this is day zero and price of certain stock is 7 rupees. On day one, price is 1. On day two, price is 5, and so on. So what you have to do is you can buy one stock one day and then you can sell it. And you have to maximize your profit.
Okay.
So how are you going to do this?
So first, from the problem statement, I understand that we have to pick 2 days from this array.
Okay.
First day I would be buying the stock, and the second day I would be selling the stock. And I have to pick these 2 days in such a way that the difference is the maximum, or I can say the profit is maximized. So that
Right.
is my goal. So let's think about the naive approach, the very basic approach. Let's forget time complexity, space complexity. Let's forget everything.
Okay.
So, the naive approach, the first thing which comes to my mind is maybe let's start with the zeroth element. Let's start
Okay.
with day zero. Let me
Okay.
buy this.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what do I have to see from the rest of the array? When should I sell this, right?
Right.
I have bought at day zero, 7. I have bought for 7 rupees. Now, I will traverse the array from I equals to 1 to I equals to 5. When
Okay.
should I sell it? I can see there is no price greater than or equal to 7. So if I go by this, I'll be making a loss.
Right.
Okay. So let's have a variable in our mind.
Okay.
Even if we are making a loss, so
Hmm.
I will sell it at maximum value possible from I equals to 1 to I equals to 5, right?
Right.
So let me sell at I equals to 4, which is 6 rupees.
Right.
And Arun, you can have a variable max profit. Yes.
Hmm.
So right now my max profit is obviously -1.
Right.
Now let's go to I equals to 1.
Okay.
Let me buy at I equals to 1, which is 1 rupee.
Okay.
Now the rest of the array, remaining array is I equals to 2 to I equals to 5.
Right.
I should pick the maximum value, right,
Right.
from this, which is 6. I will sell at 6 rupees, which is I
Makes
equals to 4.
makes
What is
sense.
the difference? 5 rupees.
Right.
So obviously this profit is greater than our maximum profit, -1.
Right.
So let's update our variable, Arun, to 5.
Perfect.
Uh, yes. So Arun, you can write I equals to 2 because we are running this loop right now.
Right.
Now we are at I equals to 2. We are at this element whose value is 5.
Right.
Now, if we buy at 5, let's see the remaining array. We will sell at 6. Obviously, that is the highest possible.
Right.
उसी पे बेच सकते हैं. तो 6 minus 5 is 1.
Right.
Let's compare this profit to our max profit variable.
Hmm.
Obviously, 1 is not greater than 5, so then we will not update it.
Right.
Okay. Now let's run this loop quickly. Let's come to I equals to 3.
Right.
Again, you will select the maximum value from the remaining array,
Right.
which is 6.
Right.
Take the difference. 6 minus 3, 3 is the difference. This is your profit. Compare this current profit with your max profit variable, right? You will see that it is not greater than 5. So we will again not update max profit. Let's go to I equals to 4, 6. Now we are buying at 6. Remaining array, only one element, which is 4, right?
Right.
Our difference profit is -2. Again, let's compare to max profit,
Okay.
right? Compare -2 with 5. Obviously, you see 5 is greater. Our max profit is still greater. We will
Right.
not update it.
So
Okay.
may I ask a follow-up question. I
Yes.
see that you have dry run it, but how are you going to calculate max every time?
Okay. Uh, so what we can do, either we can track max of right hand side of the array.
Okay.
If we are saying, okay, I'm buying at I equals to such index,
Hmm.
or I can try for another approach, which is I can track because I have to run the array only once. I
Hmm.
can track for a left minimum also, that
Okay.
at ith index I would be selling. So
Okay.
let's see what is the minimum on the left side.
So okay. So
So
what
two
you
approaches are there, but we will come to that because I was just discussing the naive solution right now, which
okay?
was making use of two loops.
Got it.
So let's discuss that part in optimized.
Okay.
Yes. So right now you saw when we were discussing the naive approach that we were making use of two loops, right?
Hmm.
One loop is traversing at what ith index we are, and the
Hmm.
second loop is obviously running from I plus 1 to n minus 1,
Okay. Shall we
right?
write pseudo code for this?
Let's write a pseudocode for this.
Okay.
So let's start with the first loop.
Okay. Let us say the size is n. Okay. This is the first loop, right?
N minus 1. Let's run it till n minus 1 because obviously we need one element
Yeah.
to
So that's
subtract.
why I had less than, not less than equal to.
No, n minus 1.
Okay. You wanted. Got it. Makes sense. Now.
So the second loop will obviously start from
Okay. I plus
I
1.
plus 1. Yeah, this will be less than n.
Hmm.
Right.
Okay.
So now you have to like declare a variable outside your loop, which is max profit,
Yeah.
which you initialize to maybe integer minimum value,
Or maybe we can do it with 0 also.
0 also, because
Yeah.
next profit will obviously
Right.
not do us any benefit,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
So yes, we have taken a variable which is outside our loop, which is
Hmm.
going to be our answer
ठीक है.
ultimately. So now when you are inside both of these loops, let's compare
Okay.
what is the difference.
Okay.
Difference which we have to compare is price at index j minus price at index I,
Okay.
right? That is the difference, which
Makes
is
sense.
our current profit.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
And then temporary profit, you can say yes.
Yeah.
Now we have to compare every time we are calculating a temporary profit or a current profit, every time we have to compare it to the max profit.
ठीक है.
Okay. So maximum we'll have to pick out of temporary profit and max profit,
ठीक है.
right? And now let's close both the loops.
ठीक है.
Now we have our answer already stored in max profit,
Makes
right?
sense.
Now let's return it. So this is the basic code for the naive approach. And as you can see, because for every ith element, we are checking its difference with all the remaining elements of the array. You can see we are making use of two loops.
Right.
So if we have to talk about the time complexity of this is going to be O(n) square,
Okay.
right? Because जब भी दो loops use होते हैं, मतलब it's not obviously 100% given rule,
Right.
but like because we are traversing array in the
Mm-hmm.
second loop also, we are traversing the whole array till nth element,
Right.
right? So that's why
Mhm.
we can say comfortably that the time complexity for this is O(n) square.
Okay. Makes sense. Perfectly fine. Guys, any doubts till now? Please do ask.
Mahak, we were trying to find out the day, right? Which day we need to find out. Here we are
We
returning the profit.
Yeah, we need to find out the maximum profit.
maximum profit
No.
actually.
Yeah.
Now, the problem statement we started, you said the day, which day we have to buy and which day we have to sell, right?
Right.
So how to get the date from here, right?
So
Mm-hmm.
actually the
Somehow we
problem
have to.
statement, yes, the problem statement if you read is we have to give the maximum profit which we can get from here, not the day. But even if you are asking on which day should I buy or sell, we can,
Mhm.
answer that question also because whenever like interesting problem, right? If you are asking, then what we can do after this line max profit, we can store obviously the index j and I. Whenever we are
Mhm.
updating our max profit, we are going to have two variables, your second day, your first day. If you are updating your max profit, you update the days also. Okay, at this
Yeah.
index we bought, at this index we sold. But actually the
So
question on lead code is asking maximum profit value for now.
no, when we were discussing actually that time, I think we discussed
Yeah,
the
that was
day when we.
that was my way of explaining actually. That obviously when we have to get the profit, one day you will buy, one day you will sell.
Mm-hmm. And first loop, why we left the one element? Why we went for the less than n minus one actually?
Because obviously when you are at I equals to 4 here in this example, look at the example. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
even if you go to I equals to 5, you don't have any other day to buy, no?
Other day to buy.
Sell,
Obviously, you
sell,
need 2
sell.
days, right?
Sell,
Sell, sorry,
sell.
sell.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Even if you're buying at I equals to 5, when are you going to sell?
Right. So that we
So
cannot
that's why,
consider for sell. We can buy.
yeah, you can
Okay.
give n also I less than n. That is
Mm-hmm.
perfectly fine. Code will
Mm-hmm.
run as it is. It was just a basic
Mm-hmm.
optimization I did because there is no
Right.
point going till I equals to n minus
Mm-hmm.
1 here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just a little optimization there, nothing else.
Right. Okay. Okay.
It
Thank you.
looks very neat and clean when you are, writing such code in your interview that, okay, he took cognizance of this also, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we did.
Uh, Quick thumbs up, guys. Thumbs up, thumbs down if there are any more questions, or shall we move forward? Anyone having any doubts till now? Okay. Max, so my second question on this is that
Yes,
time complexity as of now is order of n square.
yes,
Okay. Which means if size of my array is 10 to the power of 5, this is going to exceed,
yes,
right? So can we optimize this a little bit so that
yes,
I can handle array sizes of more than 10 to the power 4 also?
right. So we clearly need to optimize this solution. Uh, and one optimization which I can think of here is, what if I just make an assumption?
Hmm.
Let's go back to our array.
Okay.
Scroll up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what if I just make an assumption that at my ith element, I'm buying the stock.
Okay.
Sorry, selling the stock. Let's say we are selling the stock at ith element.
Okay.
Okay. Let's say at I equals to 2, at
Hmm.
value 5,
Hmm.
I am selling the stock.
Okay.
So obviously, the logical part in this assumption is I bought at some day on the
Makes sense.
left of the array is I equals to 0 to I equals to 1.
Right.
And what is the value I should pick then? If I'm selling at rupees 5,
Hmm.
obviously from the left array, I should pick the minimum value possible
Makes
to
sense.
maximize my profit.
Right.
So with this assumption, I can optimize the solution,
Makes sense.
right?
Okay.
Uh, let's dry run maybe.
Okay. Let's do it. So tell me, how should I do it?
Yeah, let's write the dry run steps here only on the right white
Okay.
space.
So
Okay.
let's say we have a minimum value, which is
Yeah.
initially the maximum value of an
Let's
input.
start from I equals to 1,
Okay.
right? Because obviously no point on selling on 0th day because buy भी
Right.
करना है.
Right.
Negative में तो days है नहीं. तो
Right.
let's buy at I equals to 1.
Okay.
Sorry, selling.
Side.
Sorry, I'm confusing this. Yeah, we are selling at I equals to 1. You
Okay.
can write on the white space also, selling at ith element so that it
Okay.
is clear to our audience. Okay, so guys, now we are making this assumption that as we traverse this array now, we are making this assumption that we are selling at ith element. So suppose I am selling at I equals to 1.
Hmm.
The value is also 1.
Hmm.
So let's look at the left array. What is the minimum value, which is also less than or equal to 1? We have to compare that also. So I see minimum value on the left is 7,
Right.
right? Which is greater than 1, my ith element.
Right.
So obviously I will not make any profit on this.
Right.
So no need to update my profit. It's still 0. Let's go to I equals to 2 now.
Okay.
Okay. So I equals to 2, the value is 5. We are selling at rupees 5. So look at the left array, which is the minimum value till now. The minimum
1.
value is 1, right? So obviously I should have bought at rupees 1 now if I'm selling at 5. So here I can update my profit, the max profit variable, which is 5 minus 1, 4. So what is happening till now? I'm just keeping track of one variable, which is minimum left, like left hand side, what has been the minimum value till now, right? You can see that. Now let's go to I equals to, no, profit, let's update to 4 now. Yeah, let's go to I equals to 3 now. I equals to 3. Now see the left array. And also minimum value till now is still 1. The mini variable is still having 1 as the minimum so far. So 3 minus 1 is 2. This temporary or current profit is 2, which is obviously less than our max profit. So let's not update anything here. Let's go to I equals to 4 now, which is 6. The value is 6. The minimum value on the left is still 1. Okay, so if I'm selling at rupees 6, I'm making a profit of 5 rupees, which is greater than my max profit so far. So let's update our profit variable, which is 5 now. Okay, now let's go to the last element. Value is 4 here. Again, left array, minimum value is still 1. Mini variable is having 1. So again, price I minus mini, which is 3, which is less than my current profit. So let's not update. Now, after all this walkthrough, we see our profit is 5, right? So this can be one optimized solution for this.
Makes sense.
That as we have just traversed the array once, we kept track of minimum so far, and we found out the profit, maximum profit possible. So you see, we just used one loop. We will do the pseudocode also for this. Just one loop we used. So we can say the time complexity is O of n. We had to just traverse the array once here.
Guys, any questions till now? Or you can give a quick thumbs up if you are okay, so that we can move ahead. Okay, I think we've got.
Okay, let's write the pseudo code for this one also, for the optimized one
Okay.
problem.
So you want two variables, Mehak? Mini.
Yes, let's have a mini variable, which is obviously our first element,
Okay.
price 0.
Yeah.
And let's write it as price 0. Okay, and let's have our max profit variable as 0. Let's call it max profit. Actually, one more point I would like to give here is that always give variable names very carefully. They should mean some sense, make some sense at least. Otherwise, your interviewer is, going to deduct your marks there. If he's like the mini variable also should be minimum val, min val. Arun, let's call it min val.
Okay.
Right? Because as you are just, if we are calling this as min val, obviously it is clear to you, okay, some minimum value is getting tracked here. Or we can call it min val left. Yeah, min left. Let's call it min left. Better. Because variables should be easily readable whenever your interviewer is reading your pseudocode. Because I've also taken a lot of interviews at Goldman Sachs. And this used to be in our playbook that you have to check variable naming is easily understandable, readable or not. Otherwise, your marks will get deducted. If the interviewer is not able to make sense, you can't just name your variables as ABC. Okay. So yes, let's move on to the minimum so far. Min left is, I think both are understandable. So Karan, I think this is also fine. Yes. So now let's start our loop from I equals to 1 to I less than n, like plus plus. Now for every ith element, we are comparing what? Price I, because we are selling at ith element, price I minus minimum left, minimum so far. Maybe we can write it in 2 lines, or we can write in 1 line also, which is fine. Okay, max profit is obviously max of max profit, which is your maximum profit overall. You're comparing this with price I minus minimum left. Okay. And then again, next step would be to update your minimum variable. You have to obviously check because now ith element you have traversed, you have to check now, okay, minimum, what is the minimum now, including this ith element in the left array, right? So you have to update your minimum left variable also. And then we can just return our maximum profit. So whenever you write any pseudo code, always try to give the time complexity, space complexity. Also try to walk through the interviewer with at least one example. Like we did the dry run first with our algorithm, with our logic in our mind. So the interviewer is also able to understand. Sometimes you give wrong or buggy pseudocode, but if you have explained it correctly, right? The logic, you have explained it correctly. And even if the time is up and you're not able to write the full pseudocode, but the interviewer will, give a positive remark and you might make it through, right? Because when I was giving interviews at Goldman, so there was one round where I could not complete the whole pseudocode. I completed it, bit it was bit buggy. We were just walking through this, we were improvising it, but the time was up. Then interview was like, okay, I got your logic, you explained it well. We did the dry run also over one array. So I made it through. But just try to dry run the logic in your head, at least talk it out loud, communicate with your interviewer. He's there to help you, he or she is there to help you always, not to reject you. Yes.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So time complexity for this would be order of n.
This is O of n, yes, because we are just using one loop. I was looking at the question of Saparya, what type of projects are required in the resume to get selected? Obviously, if you have some experience, obviously you will showcase whatever you have worked on. Always talk in terms of what impact you made, right? Impact is, I think, very important. And if you can give some numbers like, okay, this project help the company Goldman Sachs save so many million of dollars. That can be a highlight.
It could be highlight could be number of users,
Yeah,
speed, optimization, revenue, profit,
revenue,
anything.
latency,
Yeah,
whatever you improve, scalability, you know,
but
talk in
impact is
terms of impact. Yes.
uh, just to add a little bit more to that. Always make sure that each and every point in your resume that you're writing under technical experience, it should have what you did, why you did, how you did, and what was the impact of it. If you are going to follow this thing for each and every point in your technical experience, this is obviously going to give your resume a higher ATS score. And not just that, interviewer also while reading it would be able to get much more, or he would get to know more about you. Okay,
Right.
Saparya, is this okay? Quick thumbs up, thumbs down.
One more
So
question.
Mahak,
I think, yes, go ahead.
Mahak, this pseudocode is fine, or they need the code which is like compilable? I mean, they can hit to the
No,
compiler
no.
itself.
Even Google, uh, they give you a Chromebook like a laptop.
Mm-hmm,
But that is also like Google, we are coding on Google Doc. So they will,
mm-hmm,
90% of the companies would never ask you to compile it or run on some test cases. That is only your initial HackerRank test, you know.
mm-hmm,
And after that, the pseudo code should make sense. You should take care of the edge cases for sure, right?
mm-hmm,
In your pseudo code
mm-hmm.
as well, right? Like we can obviously add one edge case in this, Arun, if in the beginning, if n equals to 0, equals to 0, then return 0. This is one
Okay.
edge case. So
Mm-hmm,
obviously, like once you have given the pseudocode, try to take care of all these, like if it's a tree question, obviously, what will you take care of if root equals to null? These are the very basic edge cases.
okay.
So make sure you are handling the edge cases also, because
Mm-hmm,
70% of the pseudo code, this much is fine, but the last 30%, whosoever is taking care of pseudo like edge cases also, they are obviously star performers in the interviews.
mm-hmm. Actually, because when we are using some library functions, right? Then the using with compiler, it is easy actually. Need not to remember. I mean, compiler help in that,
I think
right?
pseudocode is the pseudocode's purpose is to test your problem solving skill if you can come up with logic or not,
Okay,
right?
okay, right,
There's
right.
one
So
more thing which I can add. Any company, if you go for, they know you could be coming from any background. Okay. Secondly, if you start putting it fully, you would have to take input also. Then you would have to write some test cases, and then you can check. In this, a lot of time would be wasted. That is why they
Mm-hmm,
straight away go for pseudocode, because they know if you are able to dry run it, it will be good. Okay.
mm-hmm,
Secondly, always make sure in an interview, if you're able to convince the interviewer that whatever you are saying is right, even if it is wrong, you would pass the interview. But if you're not able to convince the interviewer that whatever you are saying is right, even
mm-hmm.
if you are right, interview would not be passed. If you know the first statement, interviewer is not a fool. So first statement is not valid. Wherein you are right, but you're not able to, you know, so second statement always holds good, that even if you're right, but you're not able to convince the interviewer, then you are on a wrong path. So make sure to use right test cases, make sure to write
yeah,
and
actually,
communicate well.
nobody is actually looking for the function.
Hmm.
If and all these questions don't even require usage of functions which are inbuilt in these programming languages. Like you
Mm-hmm.
saw, like min, we have also used min, which is an inbuilt function only, right? Min max,
Right, right.
right? So this is
Mm-hmm,
like fairly understandable, all these things. So
mm-hmm.
that use case you won't encounter, that you have to use a lot of these inbuilt functions.
So ideally,
That won't
focus
happen.
on the business logic,
Focus on the
what is
logic.
solving the
Algorithmic
problem.
logic. There is no business
Yeah.
logic, but yeah, technical logic, whatever algorithm you are
Okay,
building. Yeah.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think there's one more question that Spide has asked.
And Tulsi has asked which programming language you people are using as of now. So I think Tulsi, there is no programming language. This is just a way of writing pseudocode. But this is, I think, similar to C++. That's what I can say.
Hmm. Or Java also.
Java has like math.maths, math.min.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
this is like pretty close to C++. Spite's question is, I have only 5 months of experience in IT industry. Please guide to crack bigger companies off campus and Goldman Sachs selection process. So obviously, if you have just 5 months of experience, so you would be asked only DSA, 4 to 5 rounds of DSA. Even if you go for Goldman Sachs, so it is first is your hacker rank, then you are called for a coding pad or a coding pair round. Coding pad, it's called. Coding pad is again, you have to solve 2 questions in 45 minutes, and it is HackerRank platform. There you will have to compile it, run the code on all the test cases, and it should pass. So first 2 rounds are pretty like that, that you have to, solve questions which should compile properly, take care of edge cases, and you should be able to submit it properly with all the green ticks on all these test cases. Then after clearing these two, what Goldman does is they will call you to their office, and in one day, like I was called, my reporting time was 12 noon, and my interview started around 1 p.m. or maybe 12:30 noon, and it went on till 7:30. So first 4 rounds were completely DSA. Then there was one hiring manager who talked to me about my projects, what impact I created, what were the technical challenges I faced when I was in my last company. So this is also a very favorite question of interviewer. Okay, you can't be a superhero, right? Like when you are working in a tech space, what were the challenges you faced and how you tackled them, right? So how you face challenges is also very important. So you have to showcase them. Okay, when I encountered some technical challenge, I had gone to ChatGPT maybe or Stack Overflow. I researched upon it. I took help from my peers and I figured out a solution for it. Always show enthusiasm and hardworking qualities. So after your hiring manager round, you get the decision in a week, and that's how you get your offer letter.
Okay.
So for any DSA round, you just stick with one programming language, C++, Java, Python, whatever your comfort zone is. And that's how. Don't switch between languages. I think that's what it was the last question. Let's move to second problem.
Okay. I think we only have 17 minutes left.
Okay.
Yes, I don't think we would be able to do that question fully, but we can take questions as people are asking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Spide is asking how to get test link from Goldman as fresher, uh, like how to get into. So if you have 5 months of experience, so or even if you're a fresher, referral is the best way. Go on LinkedIn, look for people working at Goldman Sachs tech divisions as software engineers. And obviously, maybe you'll have to ping 20, 30 people, 40, 50 people. I don't know what that number would be for you. Just keep on adding connects from Goldman Sachs. Just keep on messaging them for referral politely. Don't give a very lamba chauda paragraph. Don't write a lot of lines. Just be precise. Okay, this is the job ID. This is the job link. Job link, obviously, you can get on Goldman Sachs job portal. Give them the job ID, give them the job link, and say, can you please refer me to this? This is my resume, right?
Or
And maybe you can remind them after a few days, but obviously don't overwhelm them with messages. Like some people just keep on messaging me every day. So that is also not a good way.
or you can reach out to us. We would be able to provide
Yes.
you referrals straight out. Okay.
So referrals are the best way, and obviously we are capable of uh, getting you referred at any company. So, but go via referral. Don't just blindly apply. Okay.
Mm,
Some person
they-
applied for internship at my AI consultancy firm.
oh, okay.
I'll take care of this, Anurag. Thank you.
So can you take this question also? Devansh is asking an idea about GSoC.
So GSoC, like most few of my friends from computer science at D2, they were very heavily into GSoC. So GSoC, I think the first step, obviously I don't know fully about it. We can have one webinar with some GSoC expert also. I know a couple of them. But one thing I know is that they started with contributing to open source projects. When you go for any open source projects, maybe take the smallest bug ticket. There are always open tickets on GitHub. So take one ticket, start solving it, set up the project on your local. If you are able to solve that bug, any small bug, any small ticket you can pick, and just start committing on that project. That's how you'll be in the eye of other contributors. Then people will notice you, you'll be visible. And that's how you can build a network also, and you can build expertise also. And then when you apply to GSoC, you fill the application and they know, okay, you made so much impact, contributed so much to open source, without any greed or nothing you will be getting in return as such initially though. So if they, are happy with your grit and determination, obviously they'll select you. And then you get an internship and that pays you very handsomely.
I can add more to it. So basically, go on the portal where there are projects listed down, and tech stack is also listed over there. So whichever tech stack you're comfortable in, for example, you want to go with Android projects or web projects or MLAI projects, pick a project, set that repo on your local, and find out issues on the GitHub. They have added a few issues like Mehak added. Okay, pick any issue, start solving it. Now, let's say you have resolved that issue on your local, you would be raising a PR, which is called a pull request. Once you raise a pull request, the maintainer of that repository would be reviewing it. If he would like the code and he has tested your code, he would then be able to merge that PR into the code repository, and that is how you become a contributor to the GSoC project. Now, there could be n number of contributors to that repository, okay, and you are also one of them. So every year, the maintainer, or the company whose repo is that, is going to pick a few students or few people, and they are going to work actively on that repo, and they are they would sit in the network, they would talk to each other, there would be proper meetings, it would be like a proper intern. Okay. Secondly, what Google does is they provide you one direct interview. You do not have to apply, they would always give you a direct interview with the Google team, and in case your interview also clears, you get a job at Google. Third best thing that happens is you build your network. So a lot of people in open source domain are, they are always checking out your profiles, they are always looking for you. So if you like it, company can also directly hire you. So these are a lot of benefits, and again, it looks very good in your resume also. So let's say you've put in your resume that I cracked GSoC in this year. Of course it is going to have a really good impact, and you're going to get brownie points for it.
And you obviously develop skills also. Like there are a few of my friends who started from very, like, I would say tier 3 colleges and didn't have a lot of opportunities. So I met a lot of such good engineers at HackerRank when I was interning there. So they told me, Mehek, we came to HackerRank when it just started, and we worked for free in the initial days. We just used to eat, sleep, work here at the office only. And now they have developed so much expertise. Now they're working with US startups, earning in like dollars, which is like in Indian terms 2 to 3 CRs. And we both have the same number of years of experience, 5, 6, 7 years of experience, and they're doing very well. So it's not always that you are contributing to open source and you just directly get something from there, but in the longer run it will definitely give you benefit. When you are working on open source projects and you are able to commit and contribute to them, obviously when you go to a company you will be able to outperform almost every other engineer there. You will become a 10x engineer. That is the only definition of, or only way of becoming a 10x engineer. Also, I feel that some people who came to this webinar are waiting for more DP problems. So if you guys can stay back for more, we should take a problem. Like we should take buy, sell stock, like any number of multiple transaction. Let's take up that and explain them where we have to use DP, how we have to use DP. So here also we use DP, how we used it. So what is the basis of DP, right? What is the meaning of a dynamic programming problem? It is just that if you have to store some part of your problem, you are able to store it. Or maybe you are just calculating some sub problem again and again. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing one thing again and again, right? You can maybe store it and just pick the answer from there. Okay, so in just this is what is DP, right? And when for a DP problem, if you are able to write a recursive solution, then you can easily convert it into DP. That is the best way of doing DP problems, I would tell you. First, write a recursive solution, and then just use a array, 2D array to convert it into DP. Now let's take one example on this. Just throw them the question of multiple transactions.
Okay, sure. Let me share the link in the chat. Okay, I've shared the link in the chat, and I would request everyone to please go ahead and read the question.
So, the question which was left in between, I'll take and quickly wrap them, and rest of you please think about the problem. So yeah, what I missed is it possible to switch domain with good DSA SDC? Yes, it is possible to switch. If you are in one domain, obviously you have some expertise. If you're just working with e-commerce companies like Walmart, Amazon, Flipkart, you do have a little bit of edge, but that's not a big enough edge to be, thinking, okay, you can't make it. Just brush up on your skill when you go to the company, brush up on that domain knowledge with help of your seniors, peers, and you'll be good to go. Let's discuss. Acha, okay, DP problem we have already taken. Karan is also asking how often are these complex algorithm data structure problems used in day-to-day work? So, Karan, I think problem statements, why we solve DSAs, this question I used to think also. It's mostly because, you need to have that knack for solving complex problems. When you're working with Meta, you'll often encounter very challenging problem statements to work on. And, programming language, you can obviously learn as many as you want to. But if you don't have problem solving skills, then you won't be able to become a very good engineer. So that's why these are just activities for your brain, for sharpening your problem solving skills.
Also, I can
Um,
do that.
mhm.
Every day there will be a new language that will come up, a new library will come up, a new framework will come up. Something will come up every day. Can you, as an engineer, learn everything? No, you cannot. What are these languages or everything doing? They are probably just increasing developer productivity and saving time. For example, in C++, you had to write a lot of code, whereas in Python, there were already written libraries which you were able to use, right? But the basic core logic remained the same. The algo remained the same, right? So if your problem solving skill is good, you would be able to onboard onto any of the language or any of the tech stack that comes in tomorrow. But if your problem solving skills are not good, you would face issues going forward. That is why none of the companies, if you would have noticed, keep language as a barrier in an interview. Make sense to everyone? Yes or no?
Yeah, because I've seen myself and my seniors also, like they were able to pick up the new language like maybe in a month or 2 months, but the problem solving skill is something which will take you really far.
Has everyone read the question so that we can start discussing?
Please give some thumbs up, some activity. Looks everybody's tired or what?
Yeah, seems like. Okay. Avinash Narayana said that he is it. Okay, we'll give 1 more minute for people. I think now we are getting thumbs
Again.
up.
Yeah, yeah.
Anurag has given quite a lot of thumbs up.
Also, you guys can join our group also. I think it's on WhatsApp. Or
Yeah, yeah.
you can join our group. We'll keep discussing more DP problems also as we find time. Because whenever I've seen, if we are able to write a recursive solution for a DP problem, उसको DP में बदलना, फिर next 30 seconds में you can convert it to DP. So that's the easiest, to do. Right now, we are not taking a recursive approach for this one, but next webinar we'll take for DP, we'll just discuss recursive solutions and then how we take 1 more minute or maybe 30 seconds to convert it into DP.
Yeah, Devansh, we can do
GSoC
that.
also we'll have with some really good experts.
Chalo, I think people have done reading.
Yeah.
Next, we start.
Yeah.
Okay. So what question says is, if you would have noticed, right now, in the previous question, you were only allowed to make one transaction. Okay. Now there is no limitation on you, which means you can have n number of transactions, but at a time you can only hold one stock. Okay.
Okay. Sorry. Yep. So this question says now that, we can sell by any number of times.
Hmm.
So what will be that approach? Maybe we just buy one, sell once. Maybe we buy, you know, 3 times, buy, sell 3 times, transactions we do. But our goal is to maximize the profit, right?
Right.
So in this, what we can do, one approach which comes to my mind is that maybe I can say that I am buying the ith element, or maybe let's say we are selling at ith element.
Hmm.
And if we are selling at ith element,
Hmm.
So let's go with this array 7, 1, 5, 3, 6, 4.
Okay.
And let's say we are at I equals to 1.
Okay.
Now we have, let's say we have two arrays. Let's imagine like these are two arrays.
Okay.
Okay. So now let me be the interviewer and Arun is the candidate here.
Sure.
So Arun, what is the naive and the most ridiculous solution you can think of?
The ridiculous. So I'm allowed to do as many transactions as I can, right?
Yes.
What I would think of doing is, if I'm standing at this position and I can buy at this position, I would take each and every test case possible. For example, I sell here and I would do this same. So basically, I would pass it to my function again. I would call it via recursion and tell me the maximum profit that I can make while doing n transactions in the remaining array. This could be one case. The second could be if I buy here and I sell it here. So remaining sub problem is again the same, right? Wherein I'm given an array, I am allowed to make n transactions and I have to find the maximum profit, right? Third one is buy at this index, sell at this index. Will pass the remaining to the recursion.
Yes.
One
So
more.
basically what he is trying to do is for a particular, I mean, you can imagine as if we are dividing it into two parts. For one, we are just calculating, okay, in this part, what is the max profit? And the rest of the array, okay, let's do a recursive call. Recursion is what? It's like, okay, आगे से आंसर मंगवाते हैं क्या आ रहा है? Let's see. Okay, so आगे से वो max profit आंसर हमें दे रहा है, इतना हम array का take care करते हैं, what can be the maximum possible.
So if you would see, let us say this is the method where we have to calculate find profit. And what you're given is, let us say, a profits or a price array. Okay. What is recursion generally? Recursion is when you have to do the same job on the same set of arguments having different values, right? So when I did my work here, I have to do the same job, which is what? Find the maximum profit in an array having different size and different values. Previously, the size was, let's say, 4. Now the size is 1. But we have to do the same job. Yes or no, everyone? Quick thumbs up, thumbs down. So have you understood the meaning of recursion basically? So this could be very well asked in an interview. What is recursion? Recursion is basically doing the same thing on the same set of arguments, having the same data type, but different values. Make sense? So if I will always have two choices, consider any index. If I consider this index I have two choices, whether to indulge in transaction on this day or not. Let's consider first that I do not indulge in any sort of transaction. So what do I have to do? Pass the remaining array to my same method again, recursion. Yes or no?
Think of this as a black box, that it will give us right answer.
Yep.
Recursion is that. And
Right.
how it works, because we just take care of the base statement. Okay, एक एलिमेंट पे ये लॉजिक लग रहा है तो 5 एलिमेंट भी वो रिकर्सिव कॉल लगा के आंसर ले आएगा.
Guys, first case, is this clear? That I do not indulge in any sort of transaction on the ith day. Yes or no? I want to see more thumbs ups. In case there is a doubt, please do ask.
We can re-explain
Yep.
this.
Okay. Anurag is always sending 6 thumbs ups. I've seen. What about others here? Do you want us to name call you guys? There's Pramod, Ranveer. Okay,
Repeat.
Yeah, okay. So let's say you're sitting on this ith index. Okay, you're here in the array. Two things you can do. whether to indulge in the transaction on this day, and second is do not indulge in any sort of transaction on this day. Yes or no? Is this part clear?
So these are all days, right?
Yeah.
These are different days.
Right.
So every day you wake up, you think, should I buy, sell stock today or should I do nothing? You have only two choices. Should I
Right.
do a transaction or I should sit just idle?
Right.
Only two choices you have. Every day you're getting up. So that's what we are trying to explain.
So first, let's not indulge in the transaction. So what will you do? You would call this method again on the remaining array. Make sense here till here or not? This is first part. Okay. First is clear. Now the second is that I have to indulge in a transaction on this day. Okay. Which means I am buying on this day. So what are the possibilities that I can maximize my profit? First possibility is sell on this day and send the remaining to my recursion. This is the first possibility. Yes or no? Everyone? Okay. Second possibility is sell on this day and send the remaining to the recursion. Because what do we have to do? Again, end transactions are allowed and you are given an array, right? Same ways, indulge in the transaction on like sell it on this day and pass on the remaining to the recursion. Make sense? Guys, quick thumbs up, thumbs up. Yeah. So let's write pseudocode for this and then it would make things more clear. Consider that you're given this method to fill in, find profit, and you're given an array. Okay. Forget about the base case right now. Just forget. We will talk about base case also. First possibility is answer 1, which is what? That you are not getting indulged in any sort of transaction. So find profit, and which is the part of the array that you're sending? The remaining array. This array excluding this. Okay. So consider the right array. Make sense to everyone? Yes or no? First part is clear? Yes or no? Guys, are you there? Yeah.
So basically, we are taking from I equals to 0 to ith in our calculation, and then I plus 1 to end, we are sending in the recursive call that you give me the answer. So maybe you can take I index I also in this as a input.
Okay, you want me to take an index?
Yes, index with the array as a parameter, function parameter.
Okay, so here it would be
Index plus 1.
right. Okay, and this would be then array only because we are passing on indexes.
Yes.
Now what we can do is we can indulge in the transaction on this state, which means buy
So
on the
in the loop, we just have to take care from I equals to 0 till ith index, right? Because rest of the array we have sent to recursive function. You take care of it. You get us the right answer. We don't care. We will just calculate for I equals to 0 to I equals to index. That's
So
all.
I equals to 0, I lesser than index I plus plus, which means if you're taking the left side, which means you, on the index day you're selling, right? So the left side 7. Ranveer, what do you mean by 7? Index 7?
I think he just
7. Where is the loop? Ranveer, you can unmute and talk. Oh,
okay.
you,
No. He's
7.
talking about size, I think, of the array.
Ranveer, you can unmute if you, because I'm not able to understand this. I think there would be some issue on his side.
Sir,
Okay, we'll get back to him Okay,
Yeah,
please.
yeah, Ranveer.
जी सर, मेरा कहना है जैसे इंडेक्स जो है जीरो से जो एरे में स्टार्ट होता है, तो जो भी इंडेक्स होगा जो आई इक्वल टू जीरो लेते हैं, तो जीरो जो इनिशियली होता है जो सिंगल वैल्यू के लिए, और उसको यूज करते हैं तो वो 7 इंडेक्स तक जाएगा, तो उससे काउंट होगा लेफ्ट टू राइट और राइट टू लेफ्ट।
7 तक क्यों जाएगा इफ यू आर स्टैंडिंग एट दिस इंडेक्स?
नहीं सर, जैसे 7 है ना, 7 जो है जो इंडेक्स जीरो में है,
हाँ,
हाँ, तो उससे जाएगा तो 7 से यहाँ लास्ट 4 तक जा रहा है जो कंप्लीट इंडेक्स है।
एक से नहीं
जैसे जैसे एक्चुअली अगर जैसे इंडेक्स डाला जाए तो जीरो से इंडेक्स 5 तक जाता है, यानी टोटल 6 हुआ इंडेक्स।
राइट।
जी, तो उसी
हाँ,
प्रकार से मैं इसको लेफ्ट टू राइट कर रहा हूँ।
ओके। सो आप उस तरीके से सोच रहे हो, मैं उसको उस तरीके से
जी
ना लिख करके मैं कह रहा हूँ कि you want to sell on this day,
जी,
so you would obviously buy towards the left, yes or no?
लेफ्ट, यस सर,
Yes, so that's what
यस
I'm doing कि if I'm definitely selling on this day, तो पक्का मैंने खरीदा ही होगा लेफ्ट साइड पे,
यस
राइट?
यस
और रिमेनिंग को मैं रिकर्जन में भेज दूंगा,
यस
राइट? तो वही
Yes,
तो मैं कह रहा हूँ, देखो
That is the assumption.
हाँ,
Yes.
यस सर, बिल्कुल सर,
I
3
equals
और
to,
जो भी, हाँ, 2 4 सारे चल जाएंगे और रिकर्सिव
right?
में। यस,
So let us say this is answer number 2, which is
Yes.
initially 0,
यस,
right? So answer 2 equals to maximum of answer 2, comma.
यस,
What is the profit that you are going to make by indulging in transaction in this? ARR of index
यस,
minus ARR of I plus remaining को recursion में you have to send, which is what?
रिकर्स,
Find profit. इसमें क्या? Array plus comma index plus 1. Make sense? Yes or no?
फाइंड प्रॉफिट
हाँ,
एरे,
find profit method है,
यस
method का
यस
नाम है ना,
यस सर, बिल्कुल,
ठीक है?
यस
So this is going to be your answer 2. What is
Yes.
going to be the net answer? Maximum of this and this, yes or no?
नेट आंसर, यस सर,
Yeah. So you can finally return max of answer 1 comma answer
आंसर
2.
2, यस
And this is a simple small piece of code. Make sense? Yes or no?
यस सर,
Has everyone understood this piece of code? Yes or no?
यस सर,
Yeah.
यस सर,
Anyone having any doubts till now?
नो सर,
What about others? Vatsal says yes. Avinash Narayan says no. Aditya says yes. Okay. So, Meg, are you convinced with this?
Yes.
यस,
Great then. Shall we wind up this interview then? Guys, please don't leave. If you have any questions, we would love to answer them.
So I think this was the pseudo code, recursive.
Right.
Can you convert it into DP? So now he has given the recursive solution. So I was talking, right? If you can write a recursive solution for a DP problem, right? Then 30 second or 1 minute you should take to change it to DP solution and the most optimized. So now you see Arun has given the DP, like the recursive solution. And let's just give him 30 minutes, 30 seconds or 1 minute. Arun, just optimize it for us. Use DP, you
See
use.
this. What
मैम,
are,
just 1 minute.
Hmm.
So what is DP, man? So
Okay,
how
so
can you use DP?
if you see in each and every recursive call, what you're doing is you're making a call here. You're calling the same function again. Yes or no?
Yes, yes,
Yeah. So
Yes.
can't we optimize this?
yes,
Yeah, we can, right? So if rather than calculating it again and again, if we take a DP, let's say DP is what? Storing the answer, right? We can take a
So it
map.
means DP.
Sorry?
So can data store, so array format, so I can call DP.
Look, array format is not important.
Yes, sir.
Storing an answer is important.
So
So
string
actually,
is called DP.
Ranveer,
Yes, ma'am.
when you have to calculate one thing again and again, right?
Yes.
Like right now we are giving this call, find profit array index
Yes.
plus 1. So
Yes, ma'am.
when we will dry run this now, you will realize that this call is happening more than once,
More than one.
right?
So
More than
yes,
once.
ma'am. So looping continuously. So it's called DP, ma'am.
Yes, if you are calculating one problem, right?
Yes.
If I tell you, okay, get maximum from right array,
Yes, ma'am.
and again those calls are happening, so you will tell me, right? Okay, I've calculated it once. Why do I need to calculate again and again? I will store it once I will calculate and store it.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
then whenever you ask me for the answer, I will get from my storage only, right?
Okay.
You
Yeah.
will not go and again do the maths. Making
So
sense?
only one store. So it's called DP.
Yes, just calculate once and just store the answer, and then whenever the problem is asking for the same sub problem,
Yes, ma'am.
it will come from the storage.
Uh,
That's what
So,
DP is.
yes, yes.
so how do we take a DP? Let us say you are having a DP matrix also, DP array also, storing the
Yes.
answer. So if you already have calculated for this index, do you have to do the same procedure again?
Yes.
No. So before
No.
calculating, just check your DP array if DP of index has a value or not. If this has value, you can simply return DP of index.
So
Else,
just one minute, sir. So
tell
I
me,
cannot understand. So DP. So depth of index.
hmm,
So
if DP of index is present,
yes, yes.
okay,
So
agar if you
DP.
have
So
already
it's called DP,
calculated,
sir.
huh?
So it's called DP.
Yeah,
Okay. So I
okay.
understand. Okay, okay. Sir.
Now, if you see it here, you have now calculated the value. So before returning the value, just save it inside your DP array,
Yes, yeah.
which is what? DP of index equals to what? This
One,
value,
one,
which is maximum of
max. Yes.
answer 1, comma
Two.
answer 2. So that if call comes here again, rather than calculating, it can simply come here and return the value.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay, sir.
this makes sense now.
Two. One and two. Left, right.
Left and right. Answer 1 is
Yes.
for the right part. Answer
True.
2 is for the calculation of left plus the right one.
Yes, sir.
Make sense?
Yes, sir.
What about others? Tulsi, Vidyotma, Shaira Banu.
I know this is one of the toughest problems of DP, so don't be discouraged if you are not able to understand. Next webinar, whenever we'll do on DP, we'll try to do it soon. We'll take up some easy problems also so that you are able to make sense that rather than again and again calculating the same sub problems in a DP solution, what we do is we just calculate it once, store it, and then whenever that sub problem's answer is asked for, we're just returning it from the storage. What we can do once we wrap this up, I can walk you through the longest common subsequence solution in a minute, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Right. So Arun, let's wrap this up and then we'll just walk them through LCS once and
Okay.
finish this.
So,
Cool,
ma'am,
cool.
just for example, DP. So, any. So, very, very so important. So easily understanding, ma'am. So, how can
Okay.
example?
Ranveer, come again, please.
सर मैं ये जानना चाहता हूँ जैसे डीपी के लिए कोई ऐसा एग्जांपल बताइए जो कि काफी इजी वे में समझ पाए उसको प्रोग्रामिंग के लैंग्वेज के लिए।
तो अगर आप फर्स्ट एग्जांपल देखो,
जी जी, जैसे मैं इशू तो डीपी के लिए समझ पाया कि जो कि डेप्थ इंडेक्सिंग के लिए यूज होता है। जी लेकिन इसके अलावा कोई और एग्जांपल हो जिससे कि काफी अंडरस्टैंडिंग इजी हो सभी के लिए।
ओके, सो बेसिकली एक एग्जांपल ये हो सकता है, आपने फिबोनाची सीरीज वाला एग्जांपल तो देखा ही होगा,
हाँ हाँ
जो
हाँ
बहुत,
जी बिल्कुल, रिकर्सिव का।
हाँ
जी
जी,
सर जी
राइट। तो उसी को आप ऑप्टिमाइज करके स्टोर कर सकते हो वैल्यूज, जैसे आपने इधर स्टोर
जी
किया,
जी
राइट। दैट इज वन
जी
मोर एग्जांपल,
जी
ठीक है। एंड ऐसे देयर कुड बी मल्टीपल एग्जांपल्स। सो व्हाट आई वुड रिकमेंड यू डूइंग इज टेक अप एनी इजी प्रॉब्लम ऑन एनी ऑफ द प्लेटफॉर्म्स दैट आर आउट देयर, सबके नाम आपको पता ही है, राइट।
जी
टेक अप इजी प्रॉब्लम, उसको पहले रिकर्सिवली सॉल्व करो, एंड देन you would see the flaw in it, क्योंकि it would not pass all the test cases.
ओके
Okay,
जी
try to optimize it
ओके सर,
and you will start getting clarity.
आई विल ट्राई। ओके ओके सर,
Okay,
ओके सर।
cool then. I think we can wind up this session.
Okay.
Sure.
सर मेरा इसमें सेशन का कुछ मतलब डिले हो गया, 10-15 मिनट मेरा निकल गया, तो मेरा बीच में ही कर पाए सेशन।
Okay, we'll share with you the recording.
यस सर,
Okay,
यस।
okay then. Cool. Thank you so much, everyone.
और सर मेरा जीमेल आईडी है सर, उस पर भेज दीजिएगा या व्हाट्सएप पर आएगा?
I would share it on WhatsApp.
व्हाट्सएप।
Yep.
यस
Okay.
ओके सर।